Hear me? Oh, okay.
Now, yes. Can you hear me?
I can't believe I had to write on a piece of paper just to
That was awesome.
earlier.
That's a new one. I've not
a
yet
first.
seen that one.
Yeah.
It actually reminds me of school. You know, me try to remember like the whiteboards. Little
Totally.
whiteboards.
It's like, what do you think the answer is? And then you get like 8, 10, 2. You get math problem answers.
And you're like, damn it.
We're being
Lesson plan again tomorrow.
We're live.
In real time, like I did not in fact teach that.
Okay.
Okay. Back to the
First
drive.
came out of my mouth.
But it should be on here. You guys, we're live.
You're super echoey.
We're live. I'm just trying.
Like that was like the Wizard of Oz.
Can you hear me now?
I don't know. Maybe my audio.
Can you hear my voice?
No, I heard it too.
That was echoey.
I'm always worried that it's my mic, actually. I've done that to people before.
They don't seem to be able to hear me. Can you hear me? This is the first time we've had a live meeting. Yeah, since COVID. What do you think of our new art? I have the mute button on. The camera is off at the moment. The speaker. Yep. I can unmute it, but then I. Can my colleagues though? They don't respond. And this is.
I don't think I can hear folks. Is anyone hearing anything?
I can hear you, Councilmember Jalali.
Hey, Council President, can you hear us?
I can hear you.
Yeah,
But I don't think
she can hear us, but I don't think we can hear her. Try to now unmute yourself. Are you on mute?
Well, that's when.
Yeah, it says mute.
No,
Amy, it says mute.
I know, but I have this too. That's what the echoing was. Listen.
Still can't hear.
She's trying to get the chambers.
I think she knows, but she's got like echoes going on.
Yeah.
Camera room,
Suit.
can you turn the chambers on?
Can you hear me? This is Mike in the control room.
I can hear you.
Okay, I'm not hearing.
What if I'm on the, hold on a minute here. On the,
I'm hearing Councilmember or President Brenmo, you're very quiet. I can hear you, but.
can I, the council chambers is muted.
Broadcast.
Would that make a difference?
Let me see. Presentation.
It's so hot in here.
And your mic is unmuted.
The council chambers? Now
Yeah.
can you hear me?
I can hear you.
My colleagues can't hear me. My colleagues can't hear me. Should I,
Well, let me mute you and try your computer. So I'm going to mute your chambers mic. And now If you can turn
Okay.
on. Now we got
Is that the sound from Superman?
Marcia, is your mic working?
I'm going to
let's see
stay
here.
on mute and keep the jokes to myself.
You're on
I was laughing, but I was on mute, just so you know.
Okay,
It's
so
funny that our council
Can
chamber
we-
is the least high tech of all of our solutions.
Let's see. Marcia, your mic is not working?
I don't think my mic is working either.
Well, I'm hearing it in
so-
here. Let's see. Gas breaks. Everything looks like it's on.
No, that'll be fine. I'm good with whatever.
Mute mode. Check, check, check.
Tony Newborn did text just now about a problem they had that was similar. So in Teams, she said this happened to us in the mayor's office. We turned off the mics in the room and just used our computers.
Let's see.
Yeah. So,
it feels like there's like one on though. It's super.
well, they all feel like they're live.
There has to be a microphone in that speaker to have that kind of feedback.
Right.
Yeah.
The other thing too, Amy, is you should ask Ginger that question, because I think like part of it is you physically being in the chambers. No, in the ward. In the ward, and we are in the ward. Oh, right, because it's two. Right? Yeah. So I mean, we could go out to the conference room. Right. Yeah, I'm muted, and I'm muted on my computer right now.
And this one, now can you hear me? Anyone? No? No.
Can you just do it through your computer?
Test 2, 3, 4. Well, are you hearing me?
Just ask a particular person. Like,
No one. Councilmember Naker, are you hearing me? Doesn't sound like it.
so.
All right.
Well, but so my question is, if I go to my office, can Jared testify at the bench?
It sounds like you're not hearing through any of these.
Even up here, can they hear?
You know what I'm wondering is, I'm wondering if you move to room 330, we can still put people in room 330 to testify, and you wouldn't have any feedback there. It's really close.
3:30 instead of here.
3:30 instead of here. And then
'Cause
the
then they could
image
just
of
have this set up as
the image of
usual.
chambers would still be on, which is Rachel's consideration.
Okay.
Okay,
I'm gonna.
so.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Can you speak in the podium mic?
Other direction. Hopefully, it won't be hot as hell in there too.
It might be. You got it.
Oh, I need the mouse.
What do you need?
Testing 1, 2. Testing. Check, check, check. Test 1, 2. Can anybody hear me? I'm at the podium.
Yes, we can hear you.
You can hear me at the podium, okay? I'm not hearing anybody else coming through. Okay, can you still hear me at the podium?
I can hear you.
Yes.
Okay, now I can hear, I heard a couple of you speaking. That's a good sign.
I think everyone was just on mute the first time.
Okay.
Hello.
I think we're good.
Okay. Yeah. Well, and I can, and when he testifies, I'll just mute mine.
And we don't need the speaker on for him testifying because we just need the mic on. You'll have your speaker on.
Yeah.
Okay, so you turn yours on. All right.
Okay, looks like we're close to ready here, folks. Just having surgery, Marsha. Okay.
You have to close the door, but their call should direct people in here.
All right. I'm doing a quick scan of the roll. And it looks like we have Mr. Tolbert, Mr. Tom, Ms. Prince. We're all here. All right. Hey, Mr. Lale. All right. We are going to get started. There is a little bit still of an echo, but let's try to troubleshoot as we get going. Okay. All right. The St. Paul City Council will come to order. Roll call.
Naker,
Here.
Prince, Councilmember Prince,
Here.
Tao,
Here.
Tolbert,
Here.
Yang,
Here.
Jalali,
Here.
Council President Brenmoen. 7 present, no one absent.
Please stand and join me with an actual flag today for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Consent agenda items 2 through 10 are before you for your consideration.
Is there anything that should be taken separate on the consent agenda? All right, I see none, Ms. Yang moves the consent agenda. Roll call.
Naker,
Aye.
Prince, Councilmember Prince,
Here.
Tao,
Aye.
Tolbert,
Yes.
Yang,
Aye.
Jalali,
Aye.
Council President Brenmoen.
Aye.
7 in favor, no one opposed. The consent agenda is adopted. Item number 11, second reading of ordinance 20-28, amending legislative code chapters 60, 63, and 66 pertaining to the RM zoning districts. This item is laid over to September 2nd for third reading public hearing. Item number 12, ordinance 20-31, creating chapter 142 of the legislative code, title 12, pertaining to a special service district in downtown. This item is laid over to September 2nd for second reading. Item number 13, ordinance 20-11, public hearing amending the appendix to chapter 409 of the legislative code pursuant to section 17.07.1 of the charter and section 409.20 of the legislative code to create an additional commercial development district at 974 7th Street West.
My mic is on. And so you should turn your mic off.
It is off. I'm sorry, folks. We're having trouble here tonight. I was just asking for this mic to be off so that I can do this.
Oh.
Fine.
Should I turn my mic on?
We're good.
I think you're on mute. We can't hear you.
All right, can you hear me? Yep. Okay, I'm so sorry. We're really, this is our first meeting where we've tried to mesh being in the chamber and having folks virtually. And as you can tell, it is going a little on the clunky side. So I apologize for that. But so we're going to be toggling our speakers and our mute buttons and doing our best to keep the echoes down. But it is a bit of a challenge here today. So we have this item number 13 requires a public hearing within the ward. That is why we are having this hearing today in the Ward 2. So I just would ask if there is any staff report that comes in advance of this public hearing, or if we just should go straight to the public hearing.
There is no staff report.
Okay, so we are going to go straight to the public hearing. We do have one person here in attendance who will be speaking on this matter. And so I'll turn things over to you.
Hello, my name's Jarrett Ullman. I live in the West 7th neighborhood, and I am here to talk about my application for the commercial development district designation, and really the vision of the project. Well, is that what I wanted to do this for quite some time. I want to I want to have a small music bar in West 7th. It's like I said, it's my neighborhood, and there's there really isn't much for original music programmable stages in our community, but there's a lot of artists, and they generally they go elsewhere and participate in other communities, and I'm not just talking about West 7th. I'm talking about communities on the west side, north end, all over St. Paul. They participate in music communities in other places, specifically Minneapolis, and it's where they play and they collaborate and they meet other artists and join bands. And if they're younger, they end up moving there. And I think that our community in West 7th has like everything it needs to support something like this, but it just doesn't have any sort of social institution that will help develop music scenes, essentially. And that's what I like doing, and it's what I have a background doing. And so I purchased the building at 974 West 7th, and for me, it's an exciting project because not only is it in my own community, but it's my first business that I'm doing with no business partner. So it's my first solo project, if you will, and so I purchased this building. It's the perfect location for what I want to do for me and how I see it working in my community, being on the node that it's in, with proximity to the other businesses with similar impact in the corridor, also being in proximity to Keg and Case, so I this is a part of my process, of course. My everything's kind of moved a bit slower, than I had originally anticipated. But as long as we get to the other side, that's been okay. And I don't know if I really have too much else to say about it, other than this is what I want to do. I want actually, the last thing I want to say about it is to kind of give you an idea of why I think this place can be special. Not just in the sort of idea of the community that's in, but also actually what the place is. So it's really small. It's an 1,100 square foot space. And maybe some of you have been in this building. It was the Fort Road Federation office building that they renovated in the 90s, and it's a small building. And the idea is that I could create a small room with it's got 55 seats inside, and I can create an experience with really low expense, low labor, low everything. I'd like everything to be simple and manageable, and the size of the space translates to that. And the reason is because with a lot of like developing acts or local things, sometimes it's just not okay to have a performance in a space when only 20, 25 people show up. And I think that that you're missing a lot when you really sort of devalue experience on when you're in a space and you experience something great, but a lot of people aren't there, and maybe it didn't make money or what have you. And I think that artists are exposed to that quite a bit and they just get used to having pressure to fill a room, and so like the smaller rooms tend to be lesser quality, and because a lot of times they do music as sort of they'll do music because whatever else they were doing didn't work, and it might be a hockey bar 5 days a week, but on Sundays and Mondays they'll do music, but this is going to be very purposeful, and there are a lot of artists that I work with, that I have built relationships with, and that they're looking to be involved in developing this sort of dynamic in our community. And so I guess that's what I got to say about it.
And I just want to say, I'm not sure making sure I'm just, it's a similar conversation to when we were talking about the Palace Theater, about having size and use that run the gamut. So I appreciate your comment here. I don't believe there's anyone else who has an item on the standard. So the Naker would to close the public hearing. A roll call.
Naker?
Aye.
Prince?
Aye.
Tao?
Aye.
Tolbert?
Yes.
Katie talking.
Yang?
Aye.
Jalali?
Aye.
Council President Brenmoen?
Yes.
7 in favor, no one opposed. The public hearing is closed, and the item is laid over to September 2nd for final adoption.
Before we move on, Ms. Baker, is there anything you wanted to add? I know when we close a public hearing and there's people testifying, it's always that shifting moment. So I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, thank you. I want to thank Mr. Ullman for coming down. It's such a delight and surprise to see a human being face talking to us at a public hearing. So it's really great to remember what public hearings are like, appreciate you taking the time, and excited to see this commercial development district hopefully move forward. And then also, I know our next item is another commercial development district. So lots of commercial development happening along West 7th, and it's really great to see.
Yeah, a lot of fun down there. All right, thank you. And thank you very much for being here, for cutting our teeth. All right. All right.
Item number 14, public hearing on ordinance 20-25, amending the appendix to Charter 409 of the Legislative Code pursuant to Section 17.01.1 of the Charter and Section 409.20 of the Legislative Code to expand the commercial development district at 1 Leach Street to include 200 Grand Avenue.
Sure. So this is a public hearing, and the opportunity to testify online has been available, and we are here at this in-person public hearing in Ward 2, and there's no one here to testify in person beyond what has been submitted online. So with that, Ms. Naker would move to close the public hearing. Roll call.
Naker?
Aye.
Prince?
Aye.
Tao?
Aye.
Tolbert?
Yes.
Yang?
Aye.
Jalali?
Aye.
Council President Brenmoen?
Aye.
7 in favor, no one opposed. The public hearing is closed, and the item is laid over to September 2nd for final adoption. Item number 15, public hearing on ordinance 20-26, granting the application of Hua Vang and Yia Tao to rezone property at 1428 East 7th Street from split RM1, RM2 to all RM2 medium density multiple family residential, and amending Chapter 60 of the Legislative Code pertaining to the zoning map.
All right, and on this item, we do not have the similar requirement to items 13 and 14, so we have taken testimony online. And with that, given that information, Ms. Prince would move to close the public hearing. Roll call.
Naker?
Aye.
Prince?
Aye.
Tao?
Aye.
Tolbert?
Sorry, I was on mute. Yes.
Yang?
Aye.
Jalali?
Aye.
Council President Brenmoen?
Aye.
7 in favor, no one opposed. The public hearing is closed, and the ordinance is laid over to September 2nd for final adoption. Item number 16, third reading public hearing of ordinance 20-27, granting the application of Chet Funk et al. To rezone property at 1074 to 1096 James Avenue from R4 one family residential to RM2 medium density multiple family residential, and amending Chapter 60 of the Legislative Code pertaining to the zoning map.
Right, and there we have taken testimony online, and given that, Mr. Tolbert moves to close the public hearing. Any discussion on that motion? Seeing none, roll call.
Naker?
Aye.
Prince?
Aye.
Tao?
Aye.
Tolbert?
Yes.
Yang?
Aye.
Jalali?
Aye.
Council President Brenmoen?
Aye.
7 in favor, no one opposed. The public hearing is closed, and the ordinance is laid over to September 2nd for final adoption. Item number 17, resolution public hearing 20-179, reciting a proposal for a housing finance program for a multifamily rental housing development, giving preliminary approval to the project and the program pursuant to Minnesota statutes, Chapter 462C, authorizing the Housing and Redevelopment Authority of the City of St. Paul, Minnesota to issue conduit multifamily housing revenue obligations, and authorizing the preparation of necessary documents and materials in connection with said project and program, 1428 7th Street East, the Parkway Project.
All right, and this item is a public hearing. We have taken testimony online. I'm looking to see if there's any attached comments. So that said, Ms. Prince would move to close the public hearing and approve. Any discussion on that motion? All right, seeing none, roll call.
Naker,
Aye.
Prince,
Aye.
Tao,
Aye.
Tolbert,
Yes.
Yang,
Aye.
Jalali,
Aye.
Council President Brenmoen.
Aye.
7 in favor, no one opposed. The public hearing is closed and the resolution is adopted.
Ms. Berger, one moment. I just wanted to ask if Ms. McGonigal St. Dennis could shut your video off. It's just it's a grayed out video screen, but it would open up some of the screen for folks that are speaking. Thank you, Ms. Berger.
Item number 18, Resolution Public Hearing 20-172, approving the application of Monster Series LLC for sound level variances for amplified sound at Shepherd Road and Upper Landing Park during the Women Rock, Minnesota 2020 event on August 29th, 2020.
All right, we've taken public testimony online. Given such, Ms. Naker moves to close the public hearing and approve. Any discussion on that motion? Seeing none, roll.
Naker,
Aye.
Prince,
Aye.
Tao,
Aye.
Tolbert,
Yes.
Yang,
Aye.
Jalali,
Aye.
Council President Brenmoen.
Aye.
7 in favor, no one opposed. The public hearing is closed and the resolution public hearing is adopted. Item number 19, Resolution Public Hearing 20-174, authorizing the Office of Financial Empowerment to accept a $5,500 gift from Prosperity Now's one-to-one fund for College Bound St. Paul and amending the 2020 budget to reflect the gift.
All right, and we've taken public testimony online. So given that, Ms. Jalali moves to close the public hearing and approve. Any discussion on that motion? Seeing none, roll call.
Naker,
Aye.
Prince,
Aye.
Tao,
Aye.
Tolbert,
Yes.
Yang,
Aye.
Jalali,
Aye.
Council President Brenmoen.
Aye.
7 in favor, no one opposed. The public hearing is closed and the resolution public hearing is adopted. Item number 20, Resolution Public Hearing 20-170, amending the 2020 St. Paul Regional Water Services adopted budget, resulting in an increase of spending and financing in the amount of $11,160,000 for the demolition of the Highland Reservoir hydraulic model for the McCarran's treatment hydraulic model calibrations, repairs to the McCarran's facility, and for updated estimates for the McCarran's treatment plant improvement project.
And we have taken testimony online and had this conversation at the St. Paul Regional Water Services. Given such, Mr. Tao would move to close the public hearing and approve. Is there discussion on that motion? Seeing none, roll.
Naker,
Aye.
Prince,
Aye.
Tao,
Aye.
Tolbert,
Yes.
Yang,
Aye.
Jalali,
Aye.
Council President Brenmoen.
Aye.
7 in favor, no one opposed. The public hearing is closed and the resolution public hearing is adopted.
Before we move on to the legislative hearing items, I do see in my view screen here that our newly appointed director of the Human Resources Department is in the house. She flew by on the consent agenda with a 7-0 vote of support and was sworn in, I believe, earlier this week, but she's here. And so I certainly want to welcome her into this new role and see if there's, if she has any comments or insights to share as she embarks on this new journey in the Carter administration. Welcome and thank you for being here, Ms.
Thank you so much, Council President Brenmoen and council members. I feel like we're here again. This is probably my third time around being sworn in before this body, but truly excited about this role and just looking forward to partnering with the council as well as city staff on following in the footsteps of Director Andrea Turner, the foundation that she laid, and building upon that and ensuring that we are going to build a St. Paul, continue to build a St. Paul that works for all of us. So really excited about this opportunity. I'll keep the Chief Equity Officer roles and responsibilities as well. So really excited about it and looking forward to working with you all. But thank you for the opportunity to speak before this body.
Thank you, and I'm sorry that we blasted right past you. We were having a few technical difficulties.
No worries.
It's wonderful to see you in this role. I think you're going to be a wonderful fit. You've really got some momentum with your vision and plans for how to move the city forward in a way that works for everyone. And I think with human resources, if we're not committed to the kind of training and recruiting and really authentic work building our employment base, we're not going to do that. So I am really, really delighted to see you stepping into this role. I know that you'll be wonderful. I just want to make sure I'm using a couple different monitors, but that I'm not cutting anyone. Oh, Ms. Prince. Ms. Prince?
Ms. Newborn, I just want to thank you for stepping up to take this position. You have been such a shining star throughout your career. I recall when the Ramsey County Bar Association gave you our annual diversity award about 10 years ago, and you have continued to just be such a champion of equity and human rights. And the fact that you are available to us to step into this vitally important position, I can't thank you enough, and congratulations.
Thank you, Ms. Prince. I'm wondering if you have air conditioning on at your house. I hear a breeze all of a sudden. Oh, all right. And great. Well, thank you. Thanks for hanging around, Ms. Newborn. As I said, it's wonderful to have you here, and I'm glad you had this opportunity to share a few thoughts with you, and we look forward to checking in with you soon on the budget process for 2021. So thank you so much.
Great. Thank you.
Legislative hearing items. For the following cases, no objections to the legislative hearing officer's recommendations were received, and therefore the recommendation is to adopt the items. There's a long list. Item 21, RLHTA 20-329, 20-391, 774 Ashland Avenue. Item 22, RLHTA 20-396, 750 Bayard Avenue. Item 23, RLHTA 20-467, 706 Bellows Street. Item 24, RLHTA 20-496, 706 Bellows Street. Item 25, RLHTA 20-495, 236 Charles Avenue. Item 26, RLHTA 20-493, 695 Clear Avenue. Item 27, RLHTA 20-446, 1320 Conservatory Court. Item 28, RLHTA 20-447, 793 Cottage Avenue West. Item 29, RLHTA 20-381, 341 Daly Street. Item 30, RLHTA 20-494, 472 Dayton Avenue. Item 31, RLHTA 20-445, 2101 Dudley Avenue. Item 32, RLHTA 20-383, 1215 Edgecombe Road. Item 33, RLHTA 20-359, 113 Farrington Street. Item 34, RLHTA 20-348, 1223 Farrington Street. Item 35, RLHTA 20-480, 1225 4th Street East. Item 36, RLHTA 20-508, 115 Geranium Avenue East. Item 37, RLHTA 20-477, 899 Germain Street. Item 38, RLHTA 20-377, 302 Goodhue Street. Item 39, RLHTA 20-382, 1342 Goodrich Avenue. Item 40, RLHTA 20-384, 1562 Goodrich Avenue. Item 41, RLHTA 20-444, 1866 Graham Avenue. Item 42, RLHTA 20-376, 549 Grand Hill. Item 43, RLHTA 20-403, 811 Hague Avenue. Item 44, RLHTA 20-393, 1316 Hartford Avenue. Item 45, RLHTA 20-449, 2049 Hawthorne Avenue East. Item 46, RLHTA 20-443, 1598 Hazel Street North. Item 47, RLHTA 20-497, 611 Humboldt Avenue. Item 48, RLHTA 20-503, 891 Johnson Parkway. Item 49, RLHTA 385, 1325 Juliet Avenue. Item 50, RLHTA 20-407, 1320 Juneau Avenue. Item 51, RLHSAO 20-16, 31 Kipling Street. Item 52, RLHTA 20-442, 58 Lawson Avenue West. Item 53, RLH VBR 20-54, 887 Lawson Avenue East. Item 54, RLHTA 20-509, 584 Lexington Parkway North. Item 55, RLHTA 20-399, 663 Lincoln Avenue. Item 56, RLHTA 20-397, 2166 Lincoln Avenue. Item 57, RLHTA 20-504, 1054 Loeb Street. Item 58, RLHTA 20-344, 556 Monoman Avenue. Item 59, RLHTA 20-507, 1935 Margaret Street. Item 61, RLHTA 20-431, 1089 Marion Street. Item 62, RLHTA 20-510, 589 Marshall Avenue. Item 63, RLHTA 20-500, 1259 Maywood Street. Item 65, RLHTA 20-451, 755 Minnehaha Avenue West. Item 66, RLHTA 20-529, 1399 Minnehaha Avenue West. Item 67, RLHTA 20-468, 82 Mounds Boulevard. Item 68, RLHTA 20-404, 720 Ohio Street. Item 69, RLHTA 20-517, 741 Pierce Butler Route. Item 70, RLHTA 20-400, 922 Portland Avenue. Item 71, RLHTA 20-502, 506 Portland Avenue. Item 72, RLHRR 20-17, 957 Prosperity Avenue. Item 73, RLH VBR 20-53, 1033 Rainy Avenue. Item 76, RLH 20-378, 1052 Selby Avenue. Item 77, RLHTA 20-360, 1702 Selby Avenue. Item 78, RLHTA 20-475, 1425 7th Street East. Item 79, RLH FCO 20-106, 923 Sherburne Avenue. Item 80, RLHTA 20-448, 1347 Simpson Street. Item 81, RLH VBR 20-52, 718 6th Street East. Item 82, RLHTA 20-498, 114 Snelling Avenue North. Item 83, RLHTA 20-505, 1871 Stanford Avenue. Item 84, RLHTA 20-379, 2190 Stanford Avenue. Item 86, RLHTA 20-511, 548 Van Buren Avenue. Item 87, RLHTA 20-501, 1374 Van Buren Avenue. Item 88, RLHTA 20-394, 1206 Watson Avenue. And again, the motion is to adopt these items.
Well, the good news is we got through a lot of them. So thank you for that. Mr. Tolbert moves to adopt these items and close the public hearing. Is there any discussion on that motion? All right, seeing none, roll call.
Naker?
Aye.
Prince?
Aye.
Tao?
Aye.
Tolbert?
Yes.
Yang?
Aye.
Jalali?
Aye.
Council President Brenmoen.
Aye.
7 in favor, no one opposed. The public hearing is closed and the items are adopted. Items 89, 90, 91, 92, 93 will be read as one item as they all pertain to ratifying the assessment for the city's cost of providing collection of delinquent garbage bills for services during January to March 2020. The files included are RLH AR 20-104, 105, 106, 107, 108, and 109. The recommendation is to adopt the items.
All right, so Ms. Prince moves to adopt the items and close the public hearing. Any discussion on that motion? All right, seeing none, roll call.
Naker?
Aye.
Prince?
Aye.
Tao?
Aye.
Tolbert?
Yes.
Yang?
Aye.
Jalali?
Aye.
Council President Brenmoen.
Aye.
7 in favor, no one opposed. The public hearing is closed and the items are adopted. For the following cases, no objections to the legislative hearing officer's amended recommendations were received, and therefore the recommendation is to amend and adopt the items. Item number 60, RLH RR 19-29, 864 Marion Street. Item number 74, RLH TA 20-512, 887 Selby Avenue. Item number 75, RLH TA 20-515, 887 Selby Avenue. Item number 85, RLH SAO 20-17, 1953 Stillwater Avenue. The motion is to amend and adopt these items.
So Ms. Yang, we move to amend and adopt these items and close the public hearing. Is there any discussion on that motion? All right, seeing none, roll call.
Naker?
Aye.
Prince?
Aye.
Tao?
Aye.
Tolbert?
Yes.
Yang?
Aye.
Jalali?
Aye.
Council President Brenmoen.
Aye.
7 in favor, no one opposed. The public hearing is closed and the items are adopted as amended. For the following case, the legislative hearing officer recommends referring the matter to legislative hearing on September 15th. Item 64, RLH VBR 20-50, 700 Minnehaha Avenue East. And again, the motion is to refer this item to legislative hearing on September 15th.
All right, so Mr. Tao moves to refer this item to legislative hearing. Any discussion on that motion? Seeing none.
Naker?
Aye.
Prince?
Aye.
Tao?
Aye.
Tolbert?
Yes.
Yang?
Aye.
Jalali?
Aye.
Council President Brenmoen.
Aye.
7 in favor, no one opposed. The item is referred to legislative hearing on September 15th.
Is anyone, can other folks hear that noise? No? Yeah. All right, can you repeat the motion, Ms. Berger?
The motion is to refer the item to legislative hearing on September 15th.
All right, so moved by Ms. Jalali. Any discussion on that motion? All right, so is it Ms. Yang, is your mute off?
No, turn it off.
I'm just trying to figure out where that sound's coming from. Okay, so moved by Ms. Jalali, roll call.
I believe we did the roll call on this item already.
Okay.
Is that correct?
Yes, sorry. Yep. Does that bring us to the end of our list?
It does.
Well, hallelujah. Now I'm rejecting. Wonderful. So we're at the end of our agenda. We still have to reconvene our HRA, but I do want to make sure that if folks have news from the wards to share, that we take this quick opportunity, and then I have a comment to make as well. Ms. Prince.
I hope I'm not stealing your thunder here, Council President Brenmoen. I was just going to say for my good news that I want to thank Katie Berger for her incredible service to the council. She had been in Ward 7 prior to me, and then she became this incredible utility infielder who could do everything in the city council. And I just want to thank her for her service and tell her how much we'll miss her.
You got me. Yes.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's wonderful. I actually, I'm going to just make sure that we took a moment to acknowledge Ms. Berger, and I will say that she will be here through next Friday, but this is the last time she'll be pinch hitting for reading the public hearings, and so I thought, even though she probably doesn't want to have a big to-do and all that stuff, that we really, it's important to take time to acknowledge her contributions here. And so as Ms. Prince pointed out, that she actually started at the council in September of 2008. So she's been here almost 12 years, sorry. I was thinking 2020, 12 years working with the council, and she started out as a part-time employee and became the executive assistant to Council President Landry. So I know that was probably a lot of work. Kathy drives a tough ward. And excelled, then went on to serve as a legislative aide to interim council member Bill Finney. And she has recently been producing the council agendas, badgering us about getting our stuff through Legistar and running the ships on time to get our minutes published so the public has an opportunity to see them. And she also staffs the licensed hearing officer. And I wanted to just say on a personal note that I have really, really appreciated working with Katie. I feel like she's become a quiet friend and supporter of mine over the last 8 years. We have a text string that goes back and forth, and Facebook Messenger as well. And she really endeared herself to me when I was very new on the council. I mused out loud one time about why there was a public a noise variance request that wasn't a certain which date it was. It was this day or this day, and I was like, I wonder how we're supposed to vote if we don't know which day the sound level variance is. And she quietly told me offline that for Muslim observations and festivals, that the cycle of the moon in the location that you're at determines the dates of these activities. And so I didn't know. And I appreciated that she just took the time to educate me and make me a little smarter and a little more competent in my role. And she's continued to be that voice of knowledge to me over the years. So I appreciate you, Katie. I will miss you very much. And I wish you the best as you move forward to life's next adventure. And I'm just making sure that I see Mr. Tolbert's got his hand up and Ms. Jalali as well. Mr. Tolbert.
Yeah, I just want to take this opportunity to thank Katie for her service to the citizens of St. Paul and to the council, both the ones currently sitting here and the many that have passed through those seats during your time. Obviously, we're not in chamber. Well, Amy's at the City Hall, but we're not sitting in chambers. But, when we finally have the opportunity to all go back and have public meetings in chambers, it is going to be weird to sit there and not see you taking the minutes and taking the notes. I had a direct view of where you sat. And so you were always the constant there. And I know we added a lot of work to your plate, as we always said, well, we want to add every possible thing to the public comment, to the agendas and everything like that, which means a lot more work for you. And I appreciate that you were always willing to do that. And I also appreciate our friendship and talking about your grandkids, because I went to school with Katie's kids at St. Paul Central, the best school in the state of Minnesota. And it was fun to make that in the St. Small of St. Smalls. It was fun to make the connection that I was now working with you. So I hope they're probably not watching this, but if they are, hi to them. And I hope with your retirement, you're gonna get a lot more time with your grandkids. So thank you for everything, Katie.
Ms. Jalali.
Yeah, I think everyone can just feel the great appreciation we have for you. My favorite memories with Katie are when I was a brand new council member and I didn't have any staff hired up yet, and I was just like here, new, running around, and just like on the loose. She was our aide for the Ward 4 office, and she just stepped up and helped with everything. She just helped me get situated. We could run the office because of you, Katie, and you're just so knowledgeable about not just the systems and the procedures, but working with all of our members of the public, handling calls and questions, just being an institutional constant and a steady presence. And as a brand new person who was just hyperventilating a lot of the time about how am I going to do all the stuff that I need to do, I just wouldn't have been able to get through and lay that foundation without you. And I remember thinking, she thinks I'm nuts, like the whole time. I was just like, well, because you're so stoic. And then getting to know you and know your personality more has been really fun too. And so I just think you're really cool, in addition to being a staple around here, and we're all going to miss you. And I hope we can stay connected, and just thank you so much for all you've done. I really appreciate it.
Ms. Yang.
Thank you. Katie, I just wanted to say we didn't get to work too closely because right after I transitioned in, just a couple months later was when we started work from home. But I just want to say thank you so much to your work in the council, and thank you so much for training my staff as well and supporting them and things like, getting trained up on Legistar and resolutions as well. I think that their success is so deeply connected to the ways in which you supported them. And so thank you. We will really miss you, and best wishes to you on your future endeavors.
Lovely. All right. Well, that's our way of giving you.
Can I respond?
Yes, please, Katie. Yes, please.
I just want to thank everyone for the kind words. I have loved working for the council. It's been such a learning experience. I think the most important thing I've learned is that people so grossly underestimate the impact of municipal level government on their lives, and I will not make that mistake. I'm looking forward to continuing to be involved with city government as a Ward 1 constituent. And thank you so much again for your kind words. That means a lot. And I love the idea of being a utility infielder. Thanks, Councilmember Prince.
Wonderful. Bravo. I'll join Rebecca in some clapping. Thank you so much. What a nice way to end our meeting tonight. So I will, if there's nothing else to come before us, we bid Katie a warm farewell in the next week and remind folks that we will need to be tuning back in after a quick leg stretch to finish our HRA meeting. Mr. Tolbert.
Just a quick procedural question. And I think Katie might know the answer. It proves how essential. Are we gonna continue on this video, or do we need to re-sign in and re-invite HRA staff over? Do we re-sign into the previous meeting, or should we do a new invite to create the video, or stay on here?
I did get a request from Diane Nordquist to be invited to this meeting, but I almost feel like you should sign into the old meeting.
All right, everybody sign in the old meeting. If that doesn't work, we will send out an email or something to try and fix it. So, all right.
Okay. All right.
Thank you. All right.
Sure.
Am I in the right place?
Yeah,
Right place, right timeline, right day.
I don't know if I see it. Oh, okay. I see you now, Commissioner Jalali.
Yeah, we're back to being commissioners now.
Right.
No mistakes.
It's like a waterfall noise. I don't know what it is.
It's not here.
Hello.
We can hear you, Day.
Is everyone here?
I'm inviting people. Who else are we not on that should be on?
I thought I saw Michelle Vocek on the HRA one again, but I just tried inviting her, but I don't see her.
Chair Tolbert, I forwarded the message to Diane Nordquist, who she is on, Michelle Vocek, Claire, Joe Musoff. Did I say that already? I did just send it a minute ago. Here's Michelle, here's Claire. We just need Joe Musoff for the public hearing.
I just invited him directly. Oh, it says it's calling him. He's on.
There he is.
He's on.
All right. Anybody else from your team, Director?
Amy will be back in a second. I'm gonna just check with OTC to make sure we're good to broadcast.
Thank you very much.
Yep.
Just flying the airplane.
I think all of the HRA staff are here.
Okay. We'll wait on Council President. Do we have all of the council members? Let's see here. Is Councilmember Prince on here? Yep.
And media services is ready whenever you are.
I'm here.
I'll see Di. All right. We will call the HRA back to order. Roll call. Is Tina on?
Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot to turn my mute off.
No, it's fine. Just making sure we have everyone. We'll call the HRA back to order. Roll call.
Brenmoen.
Here.
Jalali.
Here.
Naker.
Here.
Prince.
Here.
Tao.
Here.
Tolbert.
Here.
Yang.
Here.
7 present, 0 absent. Item number 2, Resolution 20-1160, approving the resubordination of an HRA deferred loan associated with the Crane Ordway project due to refinancing of first mortgages, District 17, Ward 2.
Director Goodman.
Yes, thank you, Commissioners. This item is to approve, again, the resubordination of the deferred home loan related to the Crane Ordway. This property is under an extended, it's called a LURA, Land Use Restrictive Agreement, which mandates that all of the units are to remain affordable at certain income levels for 30 years. So due to those very low income levels, the property has been experiencing negative annual cash flow. So in order to stabilize the property, the owners have applied to Minnesota Housing for additional Section 8 vouchers. So they're refinancing the first mortgage loan with a lower interest rate to increase cash flow. This item will just approve the resubordination of our position.
All right. Any comments or questions? Doesn't look like it. A motion from Commissioner Naker. Roll call.
Brenmoen.
Aye.
Jalali.
Aye.
Naker.
Aye.
Prince.
Aye.
Tao.
Aye.
Yang.
Aye.
Chair Tolbert.
Yes.
7 in favor, no one opposed. The resolution is adopted. Item number 3, Resolution 20-1163, authorizing acceptance of a grant from the United States Department of Housing and Urban Development as a subgrantee of the Minnesota Home Ownership Center for funding of administrative costs for counselors for the Mortgage Foreclosure Prevention Program, citywide.
Director Goodman?
Yes, thank you again, Commissioners. So this item would accept a $10,655 grant for comprehensive counseling and a $300 grant for counselor certification exam fees to conduct housing counseling program for the contract period from October 1st through September 30th of it looks like October 2019 through September of 2020 with a possible extension to December 31st if the funds are not fully expended. So just so you know, PED has been a HUD-approved housing counseling agency for over 34 years and provides mortgage foreclosure counseling and financial budgeting to St. Paul residents. So again, this resolution is just to accept this grant for this work.
Great. Are there any comments or questions? If not, that's great. We always take the money, and it's important work. So I will take a motion from Commissioner Jalali. Roll call.
Brenmoen.
Aye.
Jalali.
Aye.
Naker.
Aye.
Prince.
Aye.
Tao.
Aye.
Yang.
Aye.
Chair Tolbert.
Yes.
7 in favor, no one opposed. The resolution is adopted. Item number 4, Resolution 20-1174, approving and authorizing amendments to the license granted to the White Bear Avenue Business Association for temporary use of an HRA-owned parcel located at 1560, 1570, and 1590 White Bear Avenue North, District 2, Ward 6.
Director Goodman?
Yes. Thank you, Commissioners. This item would authorize our staff to enter into an amended temporary license agreement with the White Bear Business Association, again for HRA property located on White Bear Avenue North, with the option of renewing the license agreement on an annual seasonal basis. The temporary license agreement will continue to allow the White Bear Avenue Business Association to enter into sub-license agreements with food truck vendors for temporary use of the property to operate their food trucks. The amended agreement will allow the number of food trucks operating at the site to increase from 5 to up to a maximum of 10. And I'll add, and I know you know this, that food trucks are one way that many small businesses have been able to continue to survive and stay open during COVID. And sort of as an aside, we are working with DSI to kind of try to streamline that process for the operations of food trucks.
Great, thank you. Any comments or questions? All right, a motion. Oh, Commissioner Yang.
Thank you. Thanks, Chair Tolbert. I just wanted to say I'm in full support of this, and I'm so thankful to Director Goodman, Deputy Director Guild, and our PED staff for putting this together on such a short timeline. We had a couple of requests around this already, and it was because it was definitely really hard, on food trucks to only reduce to only having 5 on the lot. And I think that with the 10, we will be able to bring in more variety, the variety that our constituents want on this lot. They love it, and we originally had 10, but had to reduce it to 5 due to the pandemic. And so, I'm glad to see that we have places opening up and more opportunity to increase this. And so, I just want to say thank you as well to Lisa and Chuck from D2, who really worked and were persistent on making this happen. And so, without their leadership, I don't think we would be here too. And so, it was a really great collective effort, and this is a really, really great result. So thank you all so much.
Absolutely. Thank you for pushing this forward.
I will take that as a motion from Commissioner Yang. Roll call.
Brenmoen.
Aye.
Jalali.
Aye.
Aye. Naker.
Aye.
Prince.
Aye.
Tao.
Aye.
Yang.
Aye.
Chair Tolbert.
Yes.
7 in favor, no one opposed. The resolution is adopted. Item number 5, Resolution Public Hearing 20-178, approving and authorizing the sale and conveyance of 800 Robert Street South, authorization to enter into a development agreement, authorization of expenditures for redevelopment, and authorization to waive the 45-day written notice in the HRA disposition policy, District 3, Ward 2.
Director Goodman.
Yes, thank you again, Chair and Commissioners. This item approves several things. As mentioned, I'll just read them off. The sale and conveyance of an HRA-owned vacant lot at 800 Robert Street South, the entering into a development agreement with Neighborhood Development Alliance, the expenditure of up to $112,500 plus the land value to assist with the redevelopment of the property, and the waiver of the 45-day written notice normally in our disposition policy. So just a little background, the HRA purchased this parcel through the Ramsey County Tax Forfeit Property Program in March of 2011 with CDBG funds, and we determined that the highest and best use for the parcel is single-family residential. That use of CDBG funds requires that the investment meet a national objective, in this case benefiting low or moderate income households, and that new construction of housing is carried out by a HUD certified community-based development organization, or CBDO. The only CBDO in the project area is this Neighborhood Development Alliance. So given that the only CBDO eligible is this one, and that the approval and this approval and our participation will enhance their grant application to Minnesota Housing Finance Agency's Impact Fund, which they're also hoping to use to make this deal work, and it's due September 1st. Staff requests a waiver of the 45-day notification period. Multiple goals of the comprehensive plan are also addressed by this program as indicated in your board packet. So several items, all related, several actions for the same item.
Great. And this is a public hearing, but we received comments via email and phone calls. Ms. Sheldon, have we received public comment?
This is Tina Chair-Tober. We did not receive comments.
Okay. So is there any comments or questions from the council? If not, I will take a motion to close the public hearing and approve from Commissioner Naker. Great. Roll call.
Brenmoen?
Aye.
Jalali?
Aye.
Naker?
Aye.
Prince?
Aye.
Tao?
Aye.
Yang? Aye. Chair Tolbert?
Yes.
7 in favor, none opposed. The public hearing is closed and the resolution is adopted.
And with 3 hours of time, we have finished the HRA meeting. So thank you, everybody, and have a good night. We are adjourned.
Thank you. Thank you, commissioners.